Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Afternoon. Can I just check on the squad? Everybody fit and well for the game?
Yeah. So Højbjerg is suspended. Joe Rodon is not in Europa list. Sonny is injured, and apart of that, everything is fine. And Lo Celso back to squad.
How long has Son be out for?
I don't know, but of course, no chance for this one.
And just one on the game. I mean, you've got a good lead to take into the second leg. How do you approach it?
I don't think it's such a good lead. I feel it open. I don't feel game over. If we go away and we lose 2-0 and we play the second leg at home, I don't feel it over. I feel it very difficult but open. So the way to approach the game is to think that way, and to think that we still have a match to play and to get a positive result. In the end of the 90 minutes, if we lose 1-0 or if we lose 2-1 or even 3-1, we would qualify. But if we qualify with a defeat in this game, I will not be happy. And that's the way I want the players to think, and that's the way we want us to play. We don't go there to defend the lead. We go there to try to win the game.
You said Gio's back in training. I mean, just how important is he for you in terms of just having other options in various positions as well?
Yeah, he's a very talented player, and he's a player with a good competitive qualities, and of course we missed him for a long time. I don't think he has 90 minutes in his legs, but he looked very confident in these 3 training sessions that he did with the team, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so I don't feel any limitation on him. I think the team needs him because he's a quality player, and as I was saying, he's very competitive. I believe even for some other players to have him there, he will help some, he will scare others, and I think we need that.
I wondered if I could ask about Harry Kane. We saw him last week with ice on his knee. He was down before Palace, and I wondered if he thought he could play 3 games in a week for England after this next couple of Spurs games, and more broadly beyond that, on what you think about your other players going away for international football.
You know, I have no control. If I could choose, I would love them all to go, because I love my players to be involved in national teams. I think it's a question of pride for them, and is a plus for us as a club. So we like the players to go, but of course, if we could choose, we wouldn't like the players to play 3 matches. But it's not in our hands. It's in the hands of their national team managers. There is nothing we can say. If not you, but one of you asks me after, is he going to play tomorrow or is he going to rest? I answer already, he's going to play. The game is open, it's an important game for us, so he plays tomorrow.
Starting to travel to Japan for a friendly against South Korea next week.
Look, if a player is injured, a player cannot play a friendly, an official, doesn't matter the match it is. So if we arrive next week and Son is injured, and we can obviously prove that to the South Korean Football Association, what is he going to do there? Nothing. So if a player cannot play for the club, the player cannot play for the country.
Lucas Moura is speaking to us later. He's playing really well in the last few weeks. What do you think about his recent contributions and what that says about his quality and character?
You know, he's one of the players that you are never worried about the way he approaches matches. With Lucas, there are not question marks about the things that I consider the basic of football. But when I say basic, then probably is not the right word. Probably is the fundamental. And the basic and also the fundamental is that you take your job in a very, very serious way. Doesn't matter if you start the game, if you are on the bench, if you are in the stands. There is no needs of hypothetical extra sources of motivation, is what I used to call, let me try to find in English the word, a professional from toe to head to toe, is this kind of player. So after that, plays better, not so good, score, doesn't score, play on the right, play in the center, play on the left, play striker like he did last season. For him, the things that are not negotiable are the fundamental. So for me, he's one of the players that I totally respect because he's a proper professional.
About Harry, and sorry to ask you, I mean, England's 3 games, Jones, and San Marino, Albania and Poland. Would you expect him to play against San Marino? Is that perhaps not a game he could be rested in? And given on Sunday, you said that Son's injury was accumulation of minutes.
No, but I cannot do Garrett's work the same way Garrett is not trying to do my work. He doesn't make any comments about my selection. He doesn't give any public opinion about should I play or should I rest or should I give more minutes to this English player or less minutes to the other one to rest. He never makes any comment. I don't feel also very comfortable in doing that. If in the summer I do some little funny work with the media for the Euros, then I will feel some freedom of speaking about others' jobs. But in this moment, I don't feel comfortable. He does what he wants. He does what he thinks is the best for the team. I believe that he has a good relation with Harry. So good relation means normally good communication. And I hope that in between them, without me being in the middle saying something, I hope that in between them, they can find some compromise to protect the player a little bit.
A couple of days for your opponent, Dinamo Zagreb, since the first leg in London. The Dinamo's manager, Zoran Mamic, resigned after Croatian Supreme Court sentenced him to almost 5 years of prison time for being a part of a group which extracted more than 15 million euros from the club he was coaching. Did you ever face anything similar in your career, especially since it happened halfway through 2 European legs? And do you think this inevitable shock for Dinamo players will make your job easier for tomorrow?
I don't want to comment. I don't want to comment.
It's a pretty unusual situation.
Okay, but what do you want me to do?
You've never experienced anything similar?
I don't remember, no. I don't remember, but it happened. But in the last part of your question that part I can answer. Same players, same team. The assistant coach becomes the coach now. The ideas are the same. The philosophy is the same. They are not going to change anything in 2 days. When somebody is the assistant, shares the ideas of the head coach. I don't feel anything is going to be different.
You've got 3 minutes. How do you reflect on the Arsenal game, Jose, and what do your players need to learn from that?
I'm not ready to discuss this with you because this is about analyzing the game, analyzing the performance, analyzing the reasons for a disappointing performance. It's not something that I'm ready to discuss with you, media, especially 2 days or 3 days after and 24 hours before an important game that we have. You know, easy to say what I told after the game. We didn't play well at all, and I think that's a very honest way to approach the situation from our side. We all assume that the performance from minute one was poor, and then what happened in the second half happened with a very bad referee decision. But let me make it very clear that for me, Michael is a good referee, and in spite of me normally being very unlucky with him, I have no problem at all to have him as my referee the next match at all. For me, he's a good player, he's an honest guy. He's just unlucky with these decisions. But for me, one of the best referees in the Premier League, and as you can see, also one of the best referees in European football. So I want to make it that very, very clear. For me, was a decision that decided the game, but I have nothing against the quality and the honesty of the referee. So going back to that game at Arsenal, this is what I told basically, and I repeat the same. Total responsibility for us for such a bad first half, and a mistake that decided the game, and a good reaction in the last 20 minutes, even playing with one player less, a reaction that could perfectly bring a different result. But all the rest is to be analyzed inside, is to be shared inside, and to move to the next match, which I repeat is an important match, and 2-0, the game is not over.
You mentioned the summer there and the European Championships. Would you be working as a pundit on television then for the summer?
I don't think I will for television, because television will demand me to be there, or in the stadium or in the studio. And from my quick look to the fixtures and also to end season, pre-season, I think that maybe I can do something, but or from the beach in the group phase, or from here in the second part, because group phase will be a period of where I will be in a little holiday, hopefully, if Portugal is not red zone. The second period I will be in pre-season, so when it goes to quarterfinals, semi-finals, final, I will be in pre-season. So to be stadium and studio, I think is impossible. But to do something funny or radio or written, maybe I will do something.
Well, guys, thank you very much.